Hey everyone. Sorry, I got a little bit of a cold today. I wanted to pop in here because I did my hike this morning and wanted to share a few things with you. So here I am. And I'll wait just a few minutes maybe to see if a few of you pop in. I love my morning hikes. They are really just have always been a part of my life. And when I go out there, I try to find fun new flowers. And so on my hike this morning, there's these flowers that I see all the time. And by the way, there's a app that I use called Leafsnap, and the Leafsnap will identify flowers. So whenever I go on my hikes, I take pictures of these flowers, and then hey Tina, um, I look them up on Leafsnap. And so the one I saw today that I see a lot, it's this really beautiful purple flower that I'm going to try and paint real quickly for you. And so bear with me. I'm going to try and set up my camera right now, but I wanted to say hello to you. And I will show you a picture of this. I think Leafsnap said it was called the Mexican bush sage, and it's really pretty. Hey Jessica, how are you, sweetie? And Nancy, how are you? Yeah, I do too, Nancy. It's so fun. I'm constantly taking pictures. So I'll show you a picture of it. Give me 1 second. I'm going to just try and hook up my camera. As you know, my tech skills and camera skills aren't always the best. So let me just switch my camera around and face it on my paper, and I'll show you the picture. Hi, Becky. Oh, Ohio. Thank you. Hey, Ruth. Oh, luck. Great. I'm glad you're here, Ruth. Let me just give you a little warning. When I hook up my camera up on top, hi, Jean. Um, I can't see. That's the only bad thing about these lives. I can't see your comments. So I'm so sorry if I missed some of your comments. I promise I will go back after I video this and I'll answer everybody's questions. So let me try and hook up my camera right now. I'm going to show you a picture I took this morning of this beautiful purple bush, and then we'll give it a go. Okay, hold on just a minute. Let me just get my camera hooked up here. All righty. Okay, I hope you all can see that well. Yeah, I'm glad you're here too, Jean. I'm glad you're all here. It's always fun seeing you guys. Okay. Hey, Ruth. Okay, so here is the picture that I took. I know it's kind of funky, and I'm sorry. You can see my ring light in it. Let's see. So it's this beautiful purple long pieces. They almost look velvety, and then they have some white in them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use I'm using my MeiLiang, by the way, today, you guys. And again, I apologize. I can't see your comments when my phone is hooked up like that. So I'm not ignoring you, but I will try and get back and just answer you all. I'm going to use the purple in here. You could use any purple, and for the main plant. And then what I'm going to do is I found these gouache paints in my huge arsenal of paints. Not even sure where I got these from. And I'm going to use the white gouache to kind of mix a little bit in with that purple. So I think that'll be fun. So here is the bush, and let's just see what we can do with this. All right. By the way, I'm also, just so you know, I have my 2 wells of water. I've already sprayed my paints, and I'm using my favorite, you got it, my Princeton 8 Velvet Touch. All right, so what I'm going to do, I think there's so many different ways we could approach this, but I think what I'm going to do is do quite a washy type of background, and then, as you know, we'll build in layers. So let's go ahead and, boy, since all of you guys are watching me, I sure hope I don't blow this. Let's try a few different things here. So I think that's kind of pretty. I'm going to try all different techniques here. So they're just these long, really long, beautiful pieces. Now what I'll have to do, because I sprayed that and got it so wet, I'm going to pick some of that up like that, because I'm going to be going back in and adding some. The other thing you could do is get your paper wet first. I'm kind of taking this approach. And there's tons of them, and they're really long. And then what I want to do before it dries too much is I want to go in there with that white gouache. So let me spray those and give them kind of that. By the way, I'm using my Artisto paper, which you know I love. So I really like this one because it kind of saved some of the darker areas. So I'm not even going to touch that one. And then what I'll do is I'm going to go back in now. Hopefully this isn't a disaster, you guys. Is I'm going to pick up some of that darker purple, and I'm just going to start tapping in. And I'm actually going to use the tip of my brush because I noticed they kind of had these, oh, here's a picture of it. Let me show you this. I don't know if you can see this. Here it is. Kind of hard to see, but it's got these whitish, velvety type pieces. So I'm going to go in with the tip of my brush and kind of start tapping in. Just like that. As you know, I love working in layers. So I will very often start with dark layers and then go in with my lighter layers. I mean, my darker layers, sorry, darker value layers. So I'm just really tapping in and creating some darker pieces. I really like how this one turned out, but sometimes, you know, you just can't control that. And then I'm going to go in with some green here. So I will use in my MeiLiang palette, I'm going to use, I think I'm going to go for my tree green and maybe the sap green. And let's just, and whatever's in my palette there, I think that has a little bit of the olive green. And let's just go in because they do have a lot of leaves and they have these very long stems that kind of hang and droop. It's such a fun flower. I really like it. There we go. I might even just add a little bit of olive green. I hope you can see all this. So I rather liked the technique, by the way, that I just used. I don't usually use that because it can be a little bit unpredictable. But I actually liked doing that, and it's very wet, of course. Now let's go in and just create. So this is where I go in and I will add more layers. Ideally, this would be a little bit more dry, but we don't have time for that today. Look how pretty that is. Oh, you guys, I'm so glad this is working out because I had not practiced this first and I was like, oh boy, I'm either going to bomb out and you guys are all I'm going to lose all my followers or it's going to work out really great and you're all going to give it a try. Okay, now this is where I want to go in with some of that white gouache. And actually, I think what I'll do is use my smaller spray bottle. This is a funny story, you guys. So I saw this on Amazon and I bought it. It's just a watercolor spray bottle. It's by Holbein. It says Artist watercolor spray bottle. And it was like $5. All it is a spray bottle. I could have gotten this for 99 cents at Target, but you know. Okay, so I'm going to go in just a tiny bit over here. This has a really fine spray, so that's why I thought I might try it. My other water spray bottle has a little bit more. Okay, let's go in now and just add some tiny bits. Oops, I grabbed the black gouache. Let's find our white. Hold on a second here. Well, oh, here we go. Okay. Here's the white, titanium white. Titanium white is really good. Chinese white, which is you get a lot of times with watercolors, is not really meant to be for creating highlights and things. I use it more to lighten colors. But if you have a titanium white, that is typically a good white for cut. It'll mask things a little bit more. So I'm just going to go right out of the tube like that. Don't really need much water. And then I'm going to go in and just kind of, now here's where I wasn't sure what this was going to look like. So I'm kind of taking a chance here. But I noticed on this plant, it had a lot of these white velvety looking buds. And I kind of liked that. So yeah, that's really pretty. Let's go in. Let's put a little bit on let me find a palette here. We'll just use this palette. As you know, I love my Meeden palettes. And I'm going to put a little in the dish here. There we go. Let's put a little from I'll have to figure out where I got those gouaches from. They're actually quite nice. And I'm going to pick a little bit up on. Now, by the way, I'm using my 6 long. And look how pretty that is. That is the exact effect I was hoping I would get with this. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. Is just kind of tapping in here and there. And they really, I went up when I took the picture and they really do look kind of velvety. So look how beautiful that is. Now, if I was doing a whole painting, I would put in a lot more background, maybe back in here. But I think just for playing today, this is quite nice. Pick up a little bit more of that green, and I think I'll go back to my 6 and just add in a few more little. I did notice they had some kind of short little leaves that stuck out like that. They were quite slender. So maybe add in some of those. Always, you know, doing long ones, short ones, different values. As you know, I talk about a lot. I wish I could see all of your guys' comments. So sorry. Let's see. Let me take a look up here. Hey, Penny. Hey, Becky. Beverly. Janine. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I hope you'll give this a try. And you know what? I wouldn't pay the $7 or $8 for this. Sorry, Holbein. But, you know, it is kind of nice to have that little spray bottle because this one really kind of put too much water in there. Now, as you know, I love working in layers. So I would just keep going into this piece and adding in some darker purples and things like that. Let's go in and maybe just add a couple more, which just means I'll use a darker value. So as you can see, this dark value of that purple isn't moving. It's probably 90% pigment, 10% water. And I'm going to go in, and I think I need my thicker brush. So I'll go back to my 8 and just go in, because watercolors do dry, much lighter, you will want to go in and kind of touch up and add some areas. But look how pretty this is. I'm actually really happy. Thank God, you guys, because I thought, as I was logging on to this live, I thought, uh-oh, I didn't practice this. What am I going to do? But that's always how I kind of paint best, to be very honest. When I practice something, then I get bored with it. And so a lot of times it just doesn't show up. Now I don't want to overwork it, so I think I'm just going to leave it like that. What do you think, guys? Could you give this a try? I think this was really fun. So just to walk through my technique here, you know what, real quick, let me backtrack, because I'm noticing when I'm looking in my picture, there's not that color. It's almost like a quin magenta. Let's add some of that in there. There's, ooh, yeah, I like that. There's actually quin magenta in this too, in this plant. It might just be the sun when I took the picture, but I actually, you know me, if I can ever add some quin magenta, I'm all in, guys. I love that color. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty. All right, so before we go here today, just to kind of recap what I did is I went in first and I just did some dots of a darker value of paint. I took my little spray bottle and sprayed, and then I did go in and just kind of dab a bit some of the water that, I had sprayed on. I'll show you again right here, kind of the process, because I feel like we need some more color. So I laid down the full values and then I sprayed. I don't want to spray what I've already sprayed, so let me just use this. Oop. There we go. And then I went in and just kind of picked some of the water up. And these plants really, boy, they hung all over. They were drooping and hanging. So that's basically what I did. And then I just started going in with the green and adding in some of these fun little branches and leaves. Just like that. And that when you spray like that too, it kind of pulls it back into the background because there's not so much detail. So I think I'm going to stop right there. This is those points where a lot of times I tell you, you just got to stop. Just walk away from your painting. You can always come back and add more. This is my Artisto pad, by the way. It's not 100% cotton, but look at how well it works. I've gotten this quite wet and it works really well. I love the Artisto pads. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put them. Let me just take a look at some of your comments. Darpan, this was so dirty. Yeah, it is kind of messy, isn't it? Yeah, give it a try. Ike, nice, love it. Nancy, how lovely. Thank you so much. All right, everybody, I hope to see you soon, and I will do my best to do more lives. I don't do a lot of them, but they're always fun. I always like, you know, getting to know you guys and answer any questions you might have. So there you go. Look at that. That's kind of pretty too. I'm just doing some splattering. Okay, I'm going to stop. But I think, honestly, the splattering could be really pretty. Okay, guys, have a great day. Happy Sunday. I hope you give this a try, and always good seeing you all. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.